What happens when your MSP client says, hey, it is too expensive or you are charging way too much money? This doesn't matter if it is an existing client or a potential future client. We are going to be getting into that in today's video. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs with sales training and marketing. Before I get into today's video, I'm in beautiful, sunny Georgia, and we are currently in Savannah. But let's get into what you need to do first. One, check out the masterclass as always down below if you haven't already. It's still being reworked, but I promise you it is going to knock your socks off. Number two, I don't know what else to tell you guys. We have a massively growing Discord. We have broken 100 people. It is awesome. Definitely go check that out. Tons of resources, tons of mentors, tons of people to ask good MSP questions to and get the best answers possible. So let's talk about right now about what happens when either a potential client or an existing client says, hey, you are too expensive. Now, this should be a red light in your mind of not saying, oh my goodness, the world is crumbling around me, or this is the worst thing that happens. It's actually a good thing when somebody says your prices are too expensive. Let's picture a scenario really quickly. You go to the car dealership. Let's say maybe you stop by the BMW or the Mercedes dealership and you see, maybe your dream car and you're like, damn, that's too expensive. There's a couple reasons why you think that right off the bat. Usually, and most often, it's because the value that you're getting out of it doesn't quite meet the price tag that you are currently paying. That right there, right off the bat, is usually the biggest flag that you need to say, oh my goodness. And it's not a red flag or a green flag. It's just a flag that says, hey, attention, there is a serious problem. Number two, part of it is when you're looking at that car, you have to investigate and say, does it have everything I'm looking for? Obviously, in 2024, pretty much every car has Bluetooth, and most of them at this point have CarPlay and Android Play. But you have to think about and you really look down and say, what actually makes this car $50, $75, $100,000? And it's going through usually that spec sheet on the window that says, well, you're getting this, you're getting this, you're getting this. Usually it's a bumper-to-bumper warranty and all of these things that create additional value to help justify that price. And that's usually where MSPs typically go wrong with their clients. It's not that your prices are too expensive. It's the fact that you're usually not showing the client the value that you actually provide. Now, this is a super, super common thing in beginner MSPs and beginner MSP salespeople. They do a really bad job at explaining the value of what an MSP actually provides to a customer. This is a major, major red flag. The lifetime of that client usually is solidified, believe it or not, in that sales meeting. They want to hear all of the good stuff and all of the benefits, not the problems that you solve, the benefits that company gets when they buy from you. That's the biggest mistake MSPs make, is they just say, well, hey, here's the price. It's $5,000 a month. And the customer's like, 5,000, well, what do I get? Well, when something goes wrong, you're just going to be able to call us. The customer's like, what? What do you mean? Well, yeah, that's how tech support works. And the customer ends up doing all of this digging to find information that they're actually looking for to understand why they're getting a $5,000 proposal. And that client might have 50 or 25 or 30 computers. This is where MSPs really go wrong. Think of that scenario that I just made, that window sticker of that car. When you're going through that window sticker, you see, well, the rim, you get special rims, you get all winter tires that are rated for, 50,000 miles. You get lifetime oil changes. You get to drop your car off and get a loaner for the day. Hey, it has the premium trim upgrade. And what I like to call this is value stacking. It's a stacking that value on top of one another over and over and over again. So when it's time for the client to actually go through and look at what they're getting, they don't just see help desk support, because that doesn't really mean much to a client. But when you're in that sales meeting and you can say, hey, we're going to do backup, disaster recovery, proactive monitoring and maintenance, and give as much detail as possible. You can do one line item and have 1,000 things in that line item, whether or not you use Go High Level, which we are affiliates for, and there's a link down below. And they just revamped it, by the way. Some crazy, crazy news. I saw it last night at like 11 o'clock at night. it's getting even better, almost to the point where I would say it's probably better than PandaDocs. Getting there, not quite, or use PandaDocs. But when you're going through and you're creating that package for a customer, you want to talk about the benefits that that customer is actually getting. Think of Steve Jobs when he originally sold, now this is an iPhone, but he sold the original iPod. He didn't talk about what has 500 megs or gigabyte storage, whatever it came out with at the time. He said it's 1,000 songs in your pocket. Well, everyone knows what 1,000 songs is. Not everyone understands what a gig is, or 10 gigs, or a terabyte, or a petabyte, as we would refer to it as. So that's the kind of way that you have to show it as a benefit. And in your sales meeting, you can say, hey, by the way, you can start to quantify that. We know that typically most people have on average about 12 to 15 minutes of computer issues per day. Multiply that by a week, by every employee, and now you're starting to add up hundreds, if not thousands of hours per year of employee non-productiveness. But if you hire our MSP, not only are we going to take care of a lot of that through your onboarding process, but instead of that person getting up, going to ask somebody else who's kind of tech savvy to then come and help them fix their issue, they get to call in or put a ticket in and get it addressed immediately on the spot most of the time. That's the benefit that you're selling to the business owner, that they can pick up and make that phone call, that their headaches are going to be gone Monday morning and not be worried about, did somebody get access to the server closet? Did somebody go in? Did the person I fired on Friday, do they still have access to their email, or do they still have passwords laying around, or did we actually kick them off of all the software that they should have been kicked off of? These are the questions that you need to say to the business owner. Hey, by the way, the benefit of working with us is if you fire somebody Friday, I promise you, Friday at midnight, they are going to have access to nothing. Not only are we going to go through and make sure that we lock down that computer, we're going to lock down their email addresses, we're going to go through your system and make sure that every single piece of software that you guys have, they might have had access to, they no longer have access to it. That's the benefit that you're actually solving, the benefit that you're selling. And then when you do that and you show that on top of all of the additional services and benefits that you really offer to a potential prospect, it then makes that $5,000 price tag justifiable. Just like when you're looking at maybe a new Mercedes and you're like, $65,000, that's a lot of money. Yeah, but it comes with lifetime oil changes, it's got these beautiful rims, it's got the updated trim package, leather seats, the whole nine. Then all of a sudden it paints in that customer's mind the real value associated with it. Not just a vehicle that's going to get you from point A to point B. Maybe it's even got massage seats. That's a thing now. Those are the benefits that the customer then gets to receive. Hey, you're going to show up to your meeting feeling like $1,000,000 because you just got a 30-minute massage and it's super fuel friendly or fuel efficient or battery powered, whatever it is that you decide. That potential customer desperately needs to see those things. And when they do and they fully understand it, they're going to sign that contract and there's not going to be buyer remorse, worried about spending the money on it. They're going to feel really good handing you a bunch of money every single month over and over and over again. That's the benefit that you have to sell the client on over and over and over again. So if your clients, your potential clients, or your existing clients are saying that, especially if it's your existing, you're not showing them the benefit enough, or they don't feel like they're really getting the value. So if they're saying that, especially if they're an existing client, think of other ways that you can sell that value. Or maybe you have to throw things in. That is another option. You can increase or add a couple things that might cost you a couple extra dollars, but the client says, oh, I can't believe I get this. I can't believe I'm super excited about this one thing. I can't believe my MSP is the best. They don't even work on printers most of the time, but they hook us up. They always make sure that Susan can print because Susan is a nightmare to have on staff. And you know what? Hey, we're going to take care of Susan. We're going to make sure that those printers work the best way possible. They're going to feel like they get that value. So I hope this video helps. I hope when you hear, you are too expensive, you realize that it is not actually what you're selling is the problem. It's the way you're explaining it and giving the customer the benefits. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to enjoy this beautiful Savannah day down here in Georgia, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. Once again, masterclass down below, Discord down below, and I throw in some helpful links down there. And also, if you've made it this far, I don't see why you wouldn't hit that like button, maybe even that subscribe button and notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Bye. I forgot to say it. I love you guys. See you guys later.